In former days, if a girl was called a prude, that meant she was not fun on a date or something. Her moral principles were too high. People would want to marry her, but they wouldn't want to date her. It was sort of a derogatory term. It's based on the word prudence, which means good judgment. There's a story about a decision to make a person the candidates, and they said, well, this one is very smart. And they said, oh, well, let this person study. Well, this person is a good manager. Well, let that person run the office. This person is prudent. Let him rule. And good judgment does not come very easily. It comes from with a lot of experience, but you can still do it when you're a younger teacher. You can watch older teachers. You can study. You can read. Always try to judge what is this test going to do? Is it right? Is it right? Is this a good project for them? Is this assignment good? Is this the correct time to correct somebody? Is this a good time for them to discuss? Teachers are exhausted at the end of the school year because they've had to make countless numbers of judgments. If they season those judgments with prudence, they'll have generally good results. They will not. Rashness is the opposite of prudence, where a teacher will snap or get angry or give some kind of impossible assignment or a test which is impossible to pass or one that's too easy. They haven't carefully prepared it. We hear about the Federal Reserve that holds back all of our money and spends it very judiciously. We're in the process of a new chairman of the Fed being appointed this coming January. And it's from the idea of the virtue of reserve, which means you're not always ready to show all your cards. Brother Stephen, who was principal here for many years, very rarely let people know what was happening. He just kept it he played, as they say, he played with his cards close to his chest. And that makes a good card player, but it also makes a good teacher. It's not that we are cold or unfeeling or uncaring. It's just that we let information out as it is needed. We are very caring in our speech to the students, to our fellow teachers, to the parents. Is something that protects us as teachers so that we are not accused of being, what is the vice that's the opposite of it, too familiar. Familiarity has been the doom of many a teacher who in his or her human desires wanted to be the friend of the students, everybody's pal, and it doomed that teacher's class because the students lost the boundaries. You've heard that expression, it's easier to loosen up than it is to tighten up. And reserve protects us teacher from being too strict, too lenient, puts that person in the middle. Familiarity can damage the relationship of the student and the teacher. I think it's a truism. We are not the friends of our students. We are their teachers. It's a close relationship. It's a special relationship. And the boundaries should be kept fairly strict on that so that the students can learn. Teachers, all of us have to remember our first duty is the student, to help that student grow. We are not the object of the lesson. The student is the object. We've heard about this idea. We should be student-centered rather than teacher-centered. One of my defects, I'm sure, over the years of teaching is I've been teacher-centered. The program was always what I wanted. But the virtue of reserve keeps us in our own playing ground. We know what to do. We know how to deal with a student who is too exuberant. We know how to deal with the one who is too quiet, the one who is not working enough, so that they can find out when it's important that they know.